Hello. So, what are you celebrating today? I know this is a crazy, crazy week this week if you're working, which I'm sure a lot of you are, otherwise you will probably be not watching this. So, yes, it's a crazy week, finishing those deadlines, rushing to get that stuff done. Never mind all the stuff at home with children off school or not off school, sickness, flu, presents. It's so much to deal with right now. So this is why it's so important. I talked yesterday about the power of the pause and just taking a moment of calm. It's also, as you know, I've been doing all my C's of resilience, and today is celebration. Now, whenever we hear the word, what are you celebrating yourself for? You can really, our brain can kick in and think, I've got nothing to celebrate. I haven't done this, I haven't done that. I wanted to achieve this, I haven't achieved that. And it can really kick in because we have about 90,000 thoughts a day. And unfortunately, 70% can be negative and repetitive and the same ones we've had before. All this, why am I so stupid? All that negative language that can kick in. So if somebody says to you, what can you celebrate about yourself this year? Now, hopefully you'll come up with a whole long list, but you might Oh, it's gone blank. Can you hear me? That's interesting. It's all gone blank. Anyway, I shall carry on talking and hope it comes back. So there we go. I'm back. So apologies. I don't know what happened there. It just suddenly kind of disappeared. Anyway, that's all part of the joys of doing a live. So to celebrate yourself, and sometimes it's important to go through your calendar, think of all the things you've achieved. Now, often it's when you found it really tough. That is when you might not feel you've got anything to celebrate, but when you can really celebrate yourself for coming through it, for rising above the challenge, for showing your resilience, for supporting yourself, your family, your team, whoever that was affected by that challenge. Now, we've had quite a few challenges this year. We had to go to court because we lost some investments, and that was a huge challenge. But the learning I got from that was absolutely massive of how we can step up in a crisis. I also was in an accident as well, which also that helped me arise and sort of suddenly get on and realize what I needed to do. And so many of us, it's been a really tough year in business, and I can totally relate to that. However, there have been so many magic moments. For me, it's been such a joy to write my book that comes out in February. For me, it's also the client supporting and navigating through all the challenges. I'm really celebrating every single client I've worked with this year because they have all gone through huge amount of challenge and change, and every organization seems to be going through a restructuring. So they've absolutely stepped up, risen with resilience, learnt how to navigate change, and are coming through that knowing whatever happens next year, they've got some tools within them in order to combat whatever they're doing. And I think for me also, it's been such a joy doing my Exec Connect roundtables, again, with a whole load of directors, helping them navigate the challenges they're facing. So I'm really celebrating all of you who have had the courage to come to these sessions, who have the courage to be vulnerable, because that is absolutely key for being a true, honest, leader with integrity. For me, I've had a diagnosis of ADHD, which has been a life-changing experience, and has just suddenly made so much sense of how I perform when I find things challenging, when I find things overwhelming, when I just step up and just get on with it. So that's been a real enlightening experience, and it's helped me get rid of a lot of the shame of why am I so stupid, which is why I probably helped so many of you navigate all this stuff, because I'm living and breathing it too. Just because I talk about resilience and I give you tools and techniques doesn't mean to say I'm not living and breathing it myself as well on a daily basis. So I'm also celebrating I joined the Professional Speakers Association this year, which has just been a massive group, wonderful group of people to help me, help add my value and contributing and being part of a tribe. So there's so many things to celebrate. And at home as well, with my daughter who's doing really well in her business, and we've all kept our health all year. So there's so many things. So I just want you to take a step back and actually think, and you might get a piece of paper. What are you celebrating yourself for this year? Are you celebrating you gained through that challenge? Are you celebrating that actually you realize you didn't need as much as you thought you did? In terms of, revenue, for example, because your revenue might have really dropped, in which case, have you realized that actually maybe you didn't need as much? You're still here, you're still going. Celebrate yourself for coming through adversity, from rising above it, even though sometimes when you're being bashed about, it feels horrible. I know what that feels like. And you wonder when it's going to end and why am I having all this stuff? When's it going to stop? However, that is when the greatest moments come. Out of the greatest challenges come the greatest triumphs. So celebrate yourself for that. So I just want to wish you a very happy Christmas. I'm going to be doing more lives, of course, the rest of the week. But if you're leaving, going on leave or whatever, then just take a moment to celebrate how far you've come this year. And it has been a challenging year for so many. And so just remember, you are awesome. You've got everything within you that you need, and you can rise above any challenge. So have a good day. Take care, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.